Well, we come to M, and of course I, in my egocentric way, still think of Maashll when I get to M. I told you once before, didn't I? Maashll, if you spell it phonetically, it's maashll in the English spelling. The Hall of the Mountain King. God of War, Mars. Oh, it's Scythian, isn't it? Frightening. And Field Marshal, he was the top military. The voice of the king, yeah, but the kings were corrupt, weren't they? His message was, going to be a death to goodness knows how many people. And on his own side at that, because of course the king was always willing to sacrifice people for the nation and for his kingdom. It's a travesty of name to think of God as our king. The association of the worldly kings has been appalling down the ages, hasn't it? He's our dad, not our king. It's worth remembering that, isn't it? Abba, Father, Dad. Loving Heavenly Dad. Not an original message, this, is it? What is the original message? As I see it, it's the personification in Jesus, the way. God is our Heavenly Dad. And it is a field marshal, isn't it? These words are not mine, but his that sent me, says Jesus in John 17. Is it in 17? Check it. They have believed that thou didst send me, and I came from thee. And the words that I speak not of myself, but of him that sent me. That's a field marshal. Marshal in the field, telling the troops. King's orders. The word marshal, originally it was simply, of course, the keeper of horses. And if the king wanted to send a message, he'd sent it by a rider on horseback. So was elevated the lowest of the low, really, in the household, the chap who looked after the horses. Elevated to the king's right-hand man. The voice of the king, you don't disobey that. Wow. There's something about how we're elevated, aren't we? We see ourselves here as children. Chaos as regards understanding. But he lifts us up by his words in us, so that we bring his message. We are sent, it says so in John 17. We are sent. We could only be sent to send the same message as him. We don't speak of ourselves. Oh, that's a relief. Thought I was going to be held responsible if I was wrong. We take it that God can't be wrong. It's God. Well, I think of my name phonetically, it's Ma. Oh, that's mother. Ah, divine mother. Oh, no, that's nice. Ah, that's the aspirate sound of God. And Ma, mother. Ma, shall. All. She'll tell all. Of course. The messenger tells all in the field. End of story. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. I'm not sure why I'm publishing this particular recording, except that, well, I sort of trust that God's doing something through me, and therefore it was not wise to not publish a recording unless I'm clear on an issue. I'm not clear on this one. It's something to do with my phonetic interest in the words that we use, that they carry sounds that have associations, and therefore we are subject to the associations of the sounds of the words that we're hearing. Now, we don't, in general, consciously choose words of a particular sound unless we're a poet and we want a particular alliteration or rhyming or decisiveness or pattern and then we might, if we have a skill, attempt to do such a thing. But it may be of interest to you to analyze, for instance, your own name. I've changed my surname through life, through different circumstances, as I've listed before, and in effect I've had a different name for each marriage, and of course my initial one as a child. I've not changed the Christian name ever. I've kept with maashll. I think there was a tradition or an expectation that the name you gave a child hinted at something about the child's future, perhaps your hopes of such. There's so many people named after the godhead of the culture's religion and so on, or some key person in the scriptural story. So many of our names, for instance, in the English language are of Christian biblical characters. Yeah. And presumably, of course, they have association just with the name that's good. But the names themselves may have associations now that are good in our mind. So we're not knowing why we're responding to a person, but in some sense the name may be part of the introduction. There are all these subtle things going on in our environments. We think of cause and effect, but some causes and so on effects may be extremely subtle.